Hi everyone, we will be talking about PR related issues in Chile. District magnitude is the number of representatives elected from a given district to the same legislative body. A single member district has one representative, while a multi-member district, called a plural district, has more than one. District magnitude is in many ways the key factor in determining how the system will operate in practice. The strength of the link between voters or elected members and the overall proportionality of election results. A party must gain at least 25% of the vote to be assured of winning a seat.
We are the country of Chile, we're 15 regions strong to learn about our geography.
Chile's electoral system can only be understood in the context of the long period of authoritarian rule under General Augusto Pinochet, 1973 to 90s, whose aim was to establish a regime of protected authoritarian democracy, of which the electoral system was one component. The dictatorship abolished PR, which had been in force prior to military coup. Chile's electoral system, PR, was the response to the cleavages in Chile's social structure since the 19th century and has produced a multi-party system. With the use of the binomial system, it is a voting system that was used in the legislative election of Chile between 1989 and 2013. From a voting system point of view, it is a multiple winner method of proportional representation with open lists, where winning candidates are chosen through the D'Hondt method. The drawbacks of the binomial system: it forces the parties into electoral coalition. Contest takes place among the member parties rather than between rivals. The deficiencies have led the government to propose that there should be an electoral reform and to suggest that instead of the two member districts, larger districts that would yield more proportional results would be more appropriate.
The third on the list for PR-related issues are the closed, open, and free lists. Now, there are a number of important variations in ways of voting between the various list proportional representation systems. The question is whether the lists are open, closed, or free in terms of the ability of electors to vote for a preferred candidate as well as for a party. Closed list system refers to the order of elected candidates that is fixed by the party itself, and voters are not able to express a preference for a particular candidate. In an open list, however, voters can indicate not just their favored party but also their favorite candidate within that party. Whereas in a free list, it refers to the capacity to vote for more than one candidate across different party lists or to cast more than one vote for a single highly favored candidate. This leads us to the discussion on a case study of Brazil entitled Candidate-Centered PR in a Presidential System. It focuses on presidential elections that take place under a two-round majority runoff system with candidates competing for votes throughout the country. The rules governing legislative elections have remained essentially unchanged since they were first established in the year 1946. The Senate is the chamber where the regions of Brazil are represented. Each of the 27 component parts of the federation is represented by 3 senators who are elected by plurality for an 8-year term. The Chamber of Deputies has 513 members who compete in 27 multi-member electoral districts corresponding to the 26 states and Brasilia. Their magnitude is determined by population, which is subject to the restriction that no states can have fewer than 8 or more than 70 representatives. Elections take place under a system of open list proportional representation. Each voter has one vote to cast, which can be given to a political party or to an individual. The case study was able to identify 3 issues regarding the open PR system of Brazil. First on the list is deliberate malapportionment. Representation in the chamber in terms of population is uneven across the states. This seriously violates the principle of one person, one vote, one value. For that reason, it has been blamed as one of the main mechanisms for reinforcing traditionalism and thereby weakening political parties in Brazil. Next is we have the competition between parties and within parties. One of the main features of the system of open list PR for the Chamber of Deputies is that it induces both inter and intra-party competition. So these elections are quite competitive. Parties compete with each other, and candidates seeking to be elected for the seats which their parties gain compete among themselves with the votes their parties obtain. This is said to lead to personalism, which is considered to be at the root of the weakness of Brazil's political parties. Lastly is the issue regarding the voters and their representatives. In Brazil's multi-member district system, the individual member is one of at least 8 representing the district, which makes it difficult to establish the link between a particular member and a new spending project. In other words, systems which allow for multi-member constituencies dilute and devalue the representation and accountability of the constituency system.